Since you're watching this video, I have to assume that you're super interested in Englewood Cliffs, New Jersey, and I can't blame you because Englewood Cliffs is one of the most premium, just awesome overall towns that you can find in the entire state. It's super underrated, super under the radar, and what we have here is this crazy town where there are large homes. They are very expensive. Even the land alone, just the dirt, is expensive, but the beauty is that the taxes are literally dirt cheap. And you get this because Englewood Cliffs is home to hundreds of companies, and these companies pay big bucks in real estate taxes. So, what that means for Englewood Cliffs homeowners is that residential real estate taxes are super suppressed because they're supplemented by the taxes that these big companies pay. So if you're interested in a premium town in Bergen County, extremely close to Manhattan, extremely close to the Hudson River, easy access to shopping and everything you might need, Englewood Cliffs might be the town for you. So stick around for the end of this video and don't you miss a thing. We're heading right into Englewood Cliffs. As always, I do like to start my videos out with the location, and we have Englewood Cliffs right here outlined in red. As you can see, it is on the New Jersey, New York City border, and right here is actually the northern tip of Manhattan. So when I zoom out, you can see that we do have the island of Manhattan right here. That is New York, New York, and this in red is the city of Englewood Cliffs. It's a great area, great location. What you do see when we zoom in a little further is that there is the Palisades Interstate Parkway that does cut through the middle of town. And then you also have 9W, aka Sylvan Ave. On Sylvan Ave, you're going to find most of the commercial companies as well as restaurants, shops, everything that you're going to need as far as resources in Englewood Cliffs is going to be on Sylvan Avenue. Then on the right side over here, you do have the Palisades Interstate Park, which is managed by the Palisades Interstate Park Commission. And here you have breathtaking views of Manhattan, of the Hudson River, and of Riverdale, the Bronx. It's actually a very nice section of the Bronx right across the way. Now, when you live in Englewood Cliffs, it's likely that you're going to be commuting to either a company on Sylvan Ave right here, such as LG, CNBC, Unilever. There are big companies here. There's also a ton of smaller companies. There's hundreds of companies in Englewood Cliffs, and all these companies do pay taxes to the municipality, which in turn does make the residential property taxes extremely low in town. So when you're living here, you're either going to be working there or you'll be working in New York City, which is completely understandable. A lot of Englewood Cliffs residents do work in New York City. You are right north of one of New Jersey's main access points to New York City, right here in the George Washington Bridge. So you just zip right over here, and the beauty of it is that you can zip down the West Side Highway or the East Side Highway from this access point. Whereas if you go in through the Lincoln Tunnel or the Holland Tunnel, you are on the west side and it's tougher to get to the east side. So I do love the George Washington Bridge for that. And when we're talking about that commute time, you can see right here, if I were to zip into Manhattan, it would be a 25-minute drive, and we are in the heart of rush hour. It is 5:30 on a Monday. So this is how quick you could get from Englewood Cliffs, not only into Manhattan, but to Times Square, 25 minutes flat by drive. So it's a very easy drive if you are a driving commuter. However, if you want to take that public transportation, we do have you on that as well. You can take a couple of routes. So you could actually zip over the George Washington Bridge via public transportation, and that would be taking the 186 bus and then over to the A train, which is right here at the George Washington Bridge bus terminal. Very easy commute. It's about a 15 to 20 minute bus ride, and then that A train will get you to wherever you need to be in the city. Now, if you don't want to cross over the George Washington, of course, you can take some other public transportation that gets you through the Lincoln Tunnel, but keep in mind there will be a transfer over here in Englewood. So essentially what you would do is take that 186 bus outbound. That's outbound from the city, so it's leaving Englewood Cliffs going to Englewood. It gets you right over here at Teaneck Road and Voorhees Street. There you'll catch the 166. It is an express bus. It's going to zip you right into the city. Beauty of it is that you do get to be on 95, and then you're on 495, where there is an exclusive New Jersey Transit bus lane that is separate from commuter traffic. So if there is traffic and you're on the bus, you're going to be zipping by all that traffic, getting into the city without standing still at all. I do like the options here. Now, there are some commutes that go right through here. It's called the Gold Coast. I would not recommend taking that commute path just because the traffic here can be completely unpredictable as it is all local streets, and it does get quite busy and congested down here. So that's kind of the outlook for Englewood Cliffs as a commuter. This is what the location serves you. Of course, you have Fort Lee right here to the south. You have Edgewater. There's a ton of great shops, restaurants, everything you need in these two towns. You have Englewood right here to the west. Again, a ton of shops, a ton of shopping, restaurants, all the like. If you want to go up north, you do have Alpine, you have Closter. There's the Closter Plaza, great shopping center. And then, of course, if you want to zip over to New Jersey's famous malls in Paramus, you just hop on Route 4 and you could get to Paramus relatively quickly. So Englewood Cliffs, insanely awesome location. Big fan of it. It's one of the best towns in Bergen County, not only because of its location, but because of what it offers within the town as well. I remember as a kid going to my friend's house in Englewood Cliffs, and it just has such an elite lifestyle. You have the big backyard, you have the outdoor kitchen, you have everybody hanging out by the pool. It is such a great vibe in Englewood Cliffs. I bet if we go on the layers right here and just kind of zoom into some of the backyards, we're going to be seeing pools. Look at all these huge houses, huge lots. I'm a big fan of Englewood Cliffs. Look at these houses. I love the layout. It's a great town. So next, we're going to go into some of the restaurant options that you have and shopping in town. Of course, you have Lefke's restaurant, and this place is awesome. It's a Greek restaurant, very fancy. However, after hours, it does get a lot of fun. People are throwing napkins in the air. It kind of turns into a club or a bar feel, so it's a very cool place to be. Then you have Grassini in Englewood Cliffs, and Grassini is just an upscale Italian restaurant. Great pasta dishes, great steaks, great overall service. When you're at Grassini, you feel like these people just came from Italy just to give you some food. It can be a little bit expensive, but in Englewood Cliffs, there are other options that aren't as expensive. Which leads me into my next restaurant, which is Mood Witches. And it's actually in Fort Lee, but it is right on the border of Fort Lee and Englewood Cliffs. So it's pretty much in Englewood Cliffs. It's on Sylvan Ave right here. And Mood Witches is a sandwich shop. It's going to have all farm to table, extremely fresh ingredients. Everybody loves stopping at Mood Witches for lunch or even dinner. And I'm actually a big fan of going to Mood Witches for breakfast because they got this $5 sandwich called the Easy Bay, and it is the best egg sandwich in North Jersey. Hands down, love it. You also have Food for Life, which is a nice little deli on Sylvan Avenue. It's going to be popping around lunchtime with all of the people working at the big corporations on Sylvan Ave. Really nice sandwiches, very tasty, very fresh. Big fan of this place as well. And then there are some other options such as Giovanni's Bicycle Club, Brownstone Pancake Factory for breakfast, Madang, a great Korean restaurant and cafe. Very cool spot, very good vibes. You got Cliffs Steakhouse, Eastern Kitchen for some delicious takeout. And where would Englewood Cliffs residents be without Cliffs Cafe? As you can see, Englewood Cliffs loaded with awesome food options, great transportation, great location, great houses. The list goes on. What else does Englewood Cliffs have? It has a lot. And next, I want to talk about the schools and what you can expect as a parent sending your kids to school in Englewood Cliffs, especially if you're relying on the public education system. Because once you get past 8th grade, there are some very interesting options that a lot of parents like to explore when they're residents of Englewood Cliffs. So this is actually a paid report from Neighborhood Scout. It's on the town of Englewood Cliffs. And as you can see here, the school quality is 100 and it says 100 is best. This is the only town where I've seen 100 for this grade. So keep in mind, Englewood Cliffs only serves students from pre-K to 8th grade. After 8th grade, and I'm talking high school, 9 through 12, you would be going to Dwight Morrow High School, which is in Englewood. And it's the public school in Englewood. So a lot of parents actually prefer to send their kids to schools like Bergen Academies, Bergen Tech, private school. My friend from Englewood Cliffs went to Regis High School in New York City with me. So we're both commuters from Bergen County into New York City as high schoolers. And I think it's important to keep an open mind when you're considering education as a whole. Englewood Cliffs does not have its own high school. However, when people are from Englewood Cliffs, they end up going on to great colleges, great higher education, getting great jobs because they explore alternative school options. And I think that private school and county technical schools are great options if you are a resident of Englewood Cliffs, New Jersey. As you can see here in this report, it does state that this neighborhood has one of the highest levels of adult education attainment in the state, according to this website's exclusive analysis. So people here are definitely highly educated. I'd expect that from your neighbors if you're going to be moving into Englewood Cliffs. Here's a breakdown of the ancestry of the residents of Englewood Cliffs as well as the languages spoken, so you have an idea of the other types of people that you'll be living with when you move into Englewood Cliffs. Pause it on the screen for a second if you want to take a deeper look. And then some things that give Englewood Cliffs its special character. You can see that people are, according to Neighborhood Scout, urban sophisticates. They're quiet, they prefer a walkable lifestyle, they're hip and trendy, and they are not nautical at all. As far as the lifestyle goes, it is a very family-friendly lifestyle. It is definitely a lifestyle of luxury communities. As far as retirement dream areas, Englewood Cliffs is at the top destination for a lot of residents who have grown up in Bergen County and they want to retire in Bergen County. Well, Bergen County usually has pretty expensive property taxes. In Englewood Cliffs, you get extreme luxury living with low property taxes. So it's a major destination for retirees for that purpose. As you can see, I'm a big fan of Englewood Cliffs, as a lot of people are. Unfortunately, for a lot of people, it is outside of the realm of affordability. That includes myself at this point. But one day I do plan on setting Englewood Cliffs as my top destination to buy a house. I definitely love the place, and I wish I could get in now before prices get even crazier, because they are doing new constructions in Englewood Cliffs, and the real estate value, it just feels more and more luxurious as the years go by. Now, that can't be it. So what else do you get in Englewood Cliffs? That can't be all. Well, you get a lot of outdoorsy kind of lifestyle in Englewood Cliffs. There are miles of hiking trails. There are miles of biking trails, and that's going to be along Sylvan Ave. You're going to see bikers there at all times of the day as long as the sun is shining. And I also like this Flat Rock Brook Nature Center. This is in Englewood, right next to Englewood Cliffs, but it's a great spot to go at lunchtime on a hot summer day. It's super nice, tons of shade. They have a little wildlife conservatory in there. You can see the owls. You know, I love that stuff. And of course, you have the Englewood picnic area. Let's see if I can get some pictures over here. It's a really cool spot where you go down by the water and you can see, there it is, there's the view. So now you have an idea for the kind of views that you do get. There's waterfalls, you go kayaking, stand-up paddleboarding. It's a ton of fun. There's so much stuff to do over here. They do have the Englewood Marina down there, and there's a ton of trails here that you can't even see on the map that you could go hiking. It's really, really cool. Right next to CNBC up here in the northern part of Englewood Cliffs, you also get Whitfield, which I think is a super cool field. You can play adult softball here. They have a basketball court, tennis courts, baseball fields, and there's a playground as well. So if you want to have fun and you're an active kind of person, Englewood Cliffs is going to have the luxury lifestyle. And then in your backyard, you're going to have all these public amenities that just make life so worth living. I'm a big fan of Englewood Cliffs. I think you'd be too. If you're interested in seeing some homes in Englewood Cliffs, I am just one email away. Shoot me an email, get in touch. I'd love to give you a tour of the area. That way you can decide whether or not Englewood Cliffs is your next New Jersey destination. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video to the very end. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Hit that like button. And if you want to see more content like this, shoot me an email. That way I know exactly what you're interested in and I can actually make content that serves your needs directly. Thank you so much. That is Tyler Sellers from 2 Win Realty, and I'll catch you on the next video.